Hey y'all, what's up? It's Jeff, and it's also champion time! So I think with this one, if you go in with realistic expectations, you'll come out a happy clam pearl. The group arrives in town on this bright and optimistic day. They run into Hassel, who's there helping to set up for some kind of event. You see him working on this statue and how good he is at flexing that right side of his brain. And the Rayquaza reveal is pretty sweet because it tells us that, well, other people care about Rayquaza, and it does make me wonder if the other 5 heroes are getting such equal treatment. Moreover, Brassius and his seductive sunken eyes are there to help out with the event too. I guess all the artists got invited because Alex makes an appearance too. We've got so many brush boys here that you'd almost expect Tracy Sketchit to show up. Of course, Roy challenges Brassius, but Brassius doesn't seem to have time to humor him right now. I guess you could say it was frustrating, but Horizons knows how to build suspense with its battles. So, in place of Brassius, and at long last, we get the Nemo versus Roy match. No school bells, Roy doesn't wake up from a Darkrai-induced coma, just straight to it. To me, it looked like Champion Nimona was sort of sizing him up. I wouldn't say that we got a good sense of her battle style from this, but really, how much strategy is she gonna need against Roy? I mean, Roy's not even making her sweat, and the weather appears to be on her side, as if she needed it. Now, handicapped from the rain, Nimona gets her expected dub against Roy. Despite how badly he wants to continue, Brassius discourages it and encourages him to reassess. And Roy losing here is sort of interesting since it fans the flames of his supporters and his haters. But if he did win, that would just be unbelievable, so I am all for the outcome of this match. As a breather, the group takes some arts and crafts classes, and it's a pretty chill way to break up the action. Roy and Coco come across a Charizard poster which offers some inspiration in itself. Their first rough draft is, well, rough. It's just missing something. And what that missing piece is could be a hint to their upcoming match against Brassius. They're all showing off some real creativity, and I think it ties into Terrestrialization well. Terrestrialization offers your Pokemon something new, so it's important to think outside the box there. I mean, the writers definitely had to do that when figuring out how to make Wattrel relevant. Man, Fuecoco always manages to keep us on our toes. While sculpting with Roy, he helps us to realize that there are other applications to Fuecoco's fire. It adds this nice charcoal color to the Lizardon sculpture that really brings it together. Put this thing on Etsy and I will take 2. And that is our lucky number because we even get 2 matches in 1 episode. The time is here, folks, for Roy to get his rematch against Brassius. Standard Roy style, no thinking, he just charges right in. This method of brute forcing his way through it almost turns this into an endurance contest. Roy's really relying on strength, and I would still say that Dot and Liko are more of the strategists of this group. Though despite the substitutes' attempt to throw him off, Roy keeps up the pressure cooking. He manages to discern which Sudowoodo is the real one by the one that's melting. And the animation for this match is just crazy good, dog. And once they started getting the upper hand, I had no doubt in my mind they'd be able to terrestrialize. Like, Roy and Coco have honestly been pretty in sync since the beginning. Although Sudowoodo's the one that became a grass type, Roy and Coco are sticking to their roots and they meet it head on with a flame charge. No stab necessary here, just sheer willpower leading to Roy getting a triumphant victory. Let's go! And fun fact, that is my favorite song in all of Pocket Monsters. Sorry, Rika-san. But God, talk about delayed gratification. And now that Roy's in his come-up era, I think we can expect the momentum to keep going from here. Think about it, he's really in the lead here. Roy passed with flying colors. And now for this festival, there's cause to celebrate. Gotta say it, this episode was heat. Hindsight's 2020, but I'd still say this episode was pretty guessable. The interest was more so in the creativity of how they were gonna overcome these challenges. Like, I'm real happy with Roy versus Nimona. I think it was a lighthearted affair to set the stage for them to really show out later. Also, these different utilizations of the moves was a nice tie-in to how you have to be adaptable when using terrestrialization. It was a really good parallel. And yeah, you could say it's a relief that Roy won, but I think it's also a nice depiction that everyone progresses at their own pace. All in all, a great episode that I would give a very high B. Also, I feel like killing 15 seconds and I did not give this ending the respect it deserves. I have had this on repeat. There's such an interesting blend of like K-pop, but also hip-hop it seems. Not to mention that this ending is just a complete visual spectacle. I am blown away by the cinematography of this series. Total banger. Okay, until next week.